The following is a presentation of the Marconi Feed Podcasting Network. Marconi Feed Podcasting Network.
Originating from mfpod.com.
I am so f***ing excited, I've had to put a cork in my...
Pantalones gratis.
Con Maccheroni Bologna.
Esto es los pantalones libres de podcast.
The Pants Free Podcast. Pantaloni Libero.
Yes, welcome to the Pants Free Podcast. My name is Bolognius Francine Marconi, and right over there is a gentleman. Introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Nicholas John Miles, and I am a small hobbit-like person from England.
Yes, we dabble in information and news. We usually just make fun of things, and sometimes we get something accomplished. But most of the time, it's just us goofing off.
It's kind of makes me feel weird when you say we dabble in. That's the sort of thing that makes me nervous because, should my mom know I'm dabbling in something? Usually, when you dabble, it's wrong. Like I dabble in drugs, or I dabble in hardcore sex bondage. We
pretend to be trained professionals. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. That's.
I don't want to be real. I'm not sure I want my mom to know I dabble in anything.
There's not a chance in hell your mom's listening to this.
Like us on Facebook.
MF Pod.
Follow us on Twitter.
MF Pod.
By the way, the Pants Free Podcast is always brought to you by Dave's Killer Bread. It's a bread beyond bread. The man who said man cannot live on bread alone has not ever tried Dave's Killer Bread because it's made with organic, local ingredients from Portland, and now we are spreading it literally around the globe. Not we, but they are. Dave's Killer Bread.
You know what sucks is the fact that we're sponsored by one of the most delicious things in the world, and now I have to sit through the podcast thinking about how I could have a slice of toast of Dave's Killer Bread in my mouth.
Well, maybe come prepared next time. Make yourself a sandwich.
Sandwich.
Yes. In fact, I just had a Dave's Killer Bread sandwich for lunch today. Delicious.
You really know how to turn the knife in a guy, don't you?
No, I'm telling people that it's the best bread on earth, Nick, because it is our sponsor. And I put 2 slices of tomatoes, a little lettuce, sometimes regular mustard, sometimes honey mustard, depending on my mood. And then some smoked turkey. And 2 slices of Havarti and Dave's Killer Bread, usually 21 grain or, something like that. But either way, you can't go wrong with any of the varieties of Dave's Killer Bread. And to find out if it's near you, just go to daveskillerbread.com. And if it's not, order your bread to be shipped to you somewhere on Earth. Dave's Killer Bread. Better than other breads.
I feel like I want an address now that says, Dave's Killer Bread. Or I want to go to their website and have it shipped to me, and it Nick J. Miles, care of Somewhere on Earth.
Don't you live like 2 blocks from the bread quarters?
I live, yeah.
And now, Pants Free News, America's most unreliable news source, without pants.
Pants Free News is absolutely packed today. The one thing that people are still talking about, even though it happened a couple days ago, the big headlines of the week. The biggest headline of this week is Alex Jones, this gun-toting crazy dude who Alex Jones's name is, this gun-crazy...
When you say that, I have no idea what you're talking about. What show was he on?
He was on Piers Morgan.
See, is Nick popping his peas extra hard today?
I like to pee pop. He was on the Piers Morgan show.
Yes.
And basically he just ranted the whole show.
Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemmings you get out there on the street begging for them to have their guns taken. We will not relinquish them. Do you understand?
Yeah, okay, so I didn't know him by name. Is he like a senator or something? What's his deal?
No, he's this sort of gun-crazed lobbyist.
Oh, he says here he's a radio talk show host.
Yeah, but he's like a right wing, but I think he's sort of in bed with the NRA.
Now, a question: are there enough right wing radio hosts cashing in on the views of the Republican Party?
Well, it's interesting that that there's a growing right-wing radio network.
Can he just talk like a human being?
That's why you're going to fail, and the establishment knows no matter how much propaganda, the Republic will rise again when you attempt to take our guns.
I think he's so used to losing it on the radio show that he just naturally lost it when he was on CNN with Piers Morgan.
I think Piers Morgan should rechange the name of his show to Interviews with the Mentally Ill.
Yeah.
Family in the Texas Revolution against Santa Anna. My family was at the core on both sides starting that because Santa Anna came to take the guns at Gonzales, Texas. Pierce, don't try what your ancestors did before. Why don't you come to America? I'll take you out shooting. You can become an American and join the Republic.
I mean, it sounds like
the trouble is that's really hard when you're the interview booker.
Yeah.
To say, hey, would you come on interviews with the mentally ill with Piers Morgan?
The interview show with the mentally ill. Tonight on CNN.
Well, Al Roker, I'd like to you know who Al Roker is, right? The NBC weather guy?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
From the Today Show. I'd like to quote him.
All right.
The quote from Al Roker is, I pooped my pants.
When you have a bypass and your bowel's been reconstructed, you think you're pretty safe. And I probably went off and ate something I wasn't supposed to. And as I'm walking to the press room, I think I got to pass a little gas here. So I'm walking by myself. Who's going to know? Only a little something extra came out.
He had like the banding surgery, right?
No, actually, I think he had a bypass, which is slightly different. It's just where they bypass portions of your stomach.
You just go right to the ass? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's sort of mouth to ass.
So
you eat a banana and it comes out the same way in the other end.
It's weird because he's at the White House and he craps his pants and then he goes to the bathroom and destroys the evidence or something?
Yeah, he revealed, he's lost 100 pounds. He revealed a lot of stuff, including crapping his pants. But the one thing that was most troubling is he also talked about his sex life, and really, that was enough for me to not watch anymore.
You pooped in your pants?
I pooped my pants. Not horribly, but enough that I knew.
Which is a common side effect of this surgery.
Exactly. And so, I was panicking. So I got to the restroom in the press room, threw out the underwear, and just went commando.
And what did that tell you?
It told me that I've got to be very vigilant as to what I eat.
Poor Roker.
Nick, I don't know if you're public about this, but you lost a considerable amount of weight a few years back because you went to Mexico and saw a guy.
Yeah, I saw a guy in Mexico. He put a little band around my stomach, and I lost 100 pounds.
Have you crapped your pants in public?
But yes, but it was nothing to do with that. Jimmy Kimmel's been getting some attention lately for a couple of reasons. One of them is the fact that he moved to 11:35 p.m.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem, in the world of time like, wow, that's like 20 minutes earlier. But it's a huge deal.
And, of course, we have Arsenio Hall coming back next year as well.
Are you kidding me?
No, he's going to be on at 11:35 too.
Is somebody looking for Arsenio Hall to come back? Did they ask him to come back?
He got a contract with the Tribune company.
Oh, goody. But Jimmy Kimmel, I was very excited. He came on. Jennifer Aniston came out. I guess she smashed his desk. I usually watch the show on Hulu. She smashed his desk, and then she gave him a haircut or something like that. But the really great news, and I might be a little biased about Jimmy, but he beat Letterman and Leno.
Yeah, he definitely took the cake on that one.
So good for Jimmy. And the thing is he's been on the podcast many times. He's always been a friend and a sweet guy. So I'm always rooting for him, no matter what. So I
would tell you out of it. I think it's a tough fight for me between Letterman and Kimmel. But I think I like Kimmel better. I think Kimmel's funnier.
Well, for me, it's not whether I like Dave or Jimmy better. It's just that I know that Dave is closer to retirement and or death than Jimmy, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, not hopefully, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like, I seriously, when David Letterman passes away, I'll probably need to take another month off, and I'll sleep in your spare room. Right.
Well, something too that Jimmy Kimmel may be up for that slot. You never know that they may come after him to join the.
That would be fantastic. And the thing is what I appreciate about Jimmy is he grew up loving Dave and Howard Stern just like me. So right. I like that about him. I like that he's taken what because he's a guy's guy. and he's taken his personality and homogenized it enough to where he's still himself, but he also appeals to a broader audience, which is brilliant, and he's funny. And I hate nothing more than people telling you why somebody's great, but Jimmy Kimmel is, I think, probably the best on TV. And again, I say, maybe I'm biased, but his jokes are funnier, his show is tighter, all the bits he does are hilarious. He's the one that's always on the internet going viral with stuff. He has the best things he does is playing jokes on people on YouTube. I love that. Like his ones where you give a kid a bad gift and then film their reaction, or tell the kid on Halloween that mom and dad ate all your candy.
Yep.
Brilliant. And
Love
his
him.
latest one was hug the TV during the playoffs for football. So
And then film it.
yeah, so I mean, and he grew up listening and watching Howard Stern, David Letterman. So he comes from that ilk and that school, and he has respect for that. And so, therefore, I root for Jimmy. And I think even David Letterman roots for Jimmy. For Christ's sake, he went on his show, so you know.
You know, it's funny, you used a word there I haven't heard in a long time.
What?
Ilk. Have you been studying your words that haven't been used for 20 years dictionary?
I have, actually.
When
yes.
news breaks, we're the first there to muck it.
Hey, I love this next story, and the reason I love it is because I like to find I'm not a big soda fan, and my other half drinks about 7 2-liter bottles a week
of soda. You're talking about your Honduran lover.
I am.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, you know, you're right. And I've been around when you guys go to the grocery store, and you buy a considerable amount of soda, enough to fuel a small army, and it's all for him because you don't drink soda.
It's like Soda City.
I haven't had soda with any kind of regularity for like 70 years.
Yes, it's saying now that they think that soda is linked to depression.
Wow.
At least it does increase your risk of depression. I think that I will continue avoiding soda.
And when I see people that drink soda still into their adulthood, it just seems like something you drank when you were like in high school. And it was just kind of like what you did, you know? But when I became an adult, I wasn't into soda anymore.
Yeah, and it's interesting, too. I think when I had my lap band surgery, I wasn't supposed to have soda anymore.
Yeah.
But, you know, I drank it a little bit, but I sort of stopped altogether, and now I have a distaste for it.
When you shat your pants in public because of it.
Right.
Oh,
right. Shitty pants in public will put you off soda.
Follow us on Twitter.
MF Pod.
Well, really, the other story is that New York City is lined up to get free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, from Google?
Yeah.
I don't know why my voice cracked when I said Google.
Yes, because you shat your pants.
No. I don't have pants on, so...
Oh yeah, that's right. It's the Pantsy podcast. If you don't have pants on and you shit yourself, you just shit yourself, right?
Yeah, yes.
I'm just trying to work out the correct verbiage in case I shit myself during the podcast.
In case you need to have a press conference or something like that.
I shat my underwear.
Yes, yeah. Nick is, by the way, the press secretary for the Pants Free podcast.
I'm in charge of all interviews, and I do them pants free.
That's right. Yeah. No, so Google is bringing free Wi-Fi to New York City. I don't really know the details of this, but just the headline alone sounds pretty awesome.
It's a bit of a scam, really. Do you remember another city that we used to live in together that got free Wi-Fi from the...
Yeah, but it wasn't Google. It was from a company that they paid for.
Right. But the trouble is that I've seen these free Wi-Fi offers come, and I've seen them go.
Well, if it's Google and they're making a big deal about it, and the mayor is behind it in New York City, and we all know, speaking of guys who hate soda, that guy.
Yeah.
But that was a callback for those of you playing along at home. He's the guy that I feel that he is behind this, Google bringing free Wi-Fi to New York City, and if it works there, it'll work anywhere.
I'm wondering how Google's going to pay for this free Wi-Fi.
They probably can't afford anything these days. I can't imagine how it's going to work. No, but I'm sure that they'll find a way. But the thing is don't you feel that America should have free Wi-Fi everywhere?
I think eventually it will happen.
Don't you think that eventually, like, we'll all be listening to everything streaming through Wi-Fi, and we'll be using less and less data on our phone, and then they'll probably start charging us for Wi-Fi through our phone company?
I think that's what'll happen eventually.
And I mean, would you mind paying like a $10 fee a month for free Wi-Fi in the world?
No.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't be free if you're paying $10, but I already, I pay for, Spotify, Hulu, and Netflix. Having Wi-Fi everywhere I go for $10, that sounds pretty good to me.
Right.
That's my plan for 2013, to bring America Wi-Fi.
And I like that. I like you bringing America Wi-Fi, especially if you're paying the bill.
No, I will pay my own share. But anybody who wants it, like you just... Because you think about it, if it's available and all you have to do is pay in $10, or maybe it's $7.99 or something like that, and you get unlimited Wi-Fi for the month, wouldn't that be great? I mean, that's way better than like paying... Everybody could have it at their home, driving down the street if they wanted, whatever.
The thing is that then you get these people who abuse it.
Yeah,
and they
guys
download, like the National Library of Congress.
Well, just like on the internet, they'll have to pinch that closed like a hose.
Bitches.
And yes, you mentioned abuse, Nick. I believe this podcast might be a form of abuse if you really think about it.
I just like to be involved in abuse in some way or other because I'm usually on the other end.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Well, thank God that's over.
Yeah. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine.
Well, there you have it. Another fantastic podcast, if I don't mind saying so. Thank you for listening. You know where we are. mfpod.com has all the links, including Stitcher, iTunes. We're also on a thing called Mixcloud. You really can't not find us.
And sometimes we'll come to your house and sit on the end of your bed until you listen.
You know there's trouble if that happens. I'm Balonius Francine Marconi, along with Nick J. Miles, saying...
Sometimes I like to dig a hole in the garden, stand in it, and pretend I'm a carrot.
Pantalones a libero.
Marconi.
I swear to God, I'm going to stick my fist up your ass.
The Marconi feed. Bing.